So be nice to the world, but not be nice to yourself.
That's right.
This is such a common issue.
Most common trait.
Yeah, like you see all these people going out there, and then they ask about him, like, oh, this guy's a kind guy, or he's a good guy. He's a champion. But when it comes to yourself, you treat yourself like shit. Your self-worth is fucking zero. And you see this, I see this a lot of times when, or in my lifetime at church. You know, when you go to church on Sunday, you'll have people like, oh, they're just really nice to you, they feel very genuine, and they probably are.
Yeah.
I believe most people are in this setting. And when they go home, they don't look after themselves, they don't eat right, they make sure that the family is fed and looked after, the whole thing. But when it comes to them, I ate a bit of bread, I just drink a bit of water, and like, you know, like, take it easy. Like, you can treat yourself the same way you treat everybody else, but we don't do it. We put ourselves last.
We don't even know we exist.
Exactly. It's like we don't exist. Spot on.
Yeah, we're definitely not trained to treat ourselves like we do everybody else. We believe in some way that, I don't know, we're not part of, it's like we don't exist in some way.
Yeah, we don't need to take care of ourselves, make sure everyone's taken care of, and by some miracle, everyone's going to take care of me.
Yeah, do nice to others, they're going to do nice to you.
But it's not like that though.
No, it's not like that.
You're responsible for you. And I'm saying, look after everybody. Do what you're doing is fine.
That's it.
But all we're saying here is just...
What about you?
Exactly. Just give the same treatment to yourself.
Sweet. That goes in line with, you know, there's motherfuckers, I was one of them, trying to give advice to every cunt. You know, you're not really following that same advice to the letter, let's say, but it gives you something in a way, it makes you feel good about yourself. There's an ego stroke when you know, kind of try to help someone who's like, you see a little bit less than you.
Yeah.
You know, they might not be doing as well.
Spot on.
You know, mentally, emotionally, whatever, physically. And you give them a few tips, blah, blah, blah. But it's a different story when it comes to you. You giving advice to yourself. As we know, we're plugged into the matrix. You have to unplug to actually see, like, sweet, you're talking all this shit about everybody else. You think you're better than everybody else. What are you doing? Are you doing anything to level up? Are you doing anything to deserve that credit to be able to give advice to somebody?
Yeah, exactly. But being kind to the world, it's not, people see that it's like something they have to do.
Something they have to do.
Because they've been taught from a young age, like, you know, when you go out, treat people, they say treat people the way you want to be treated, but that goes to the back burner, that one. Yourself is gone.
No.
Yeah, be respectful of people, be kind to people. That sticks with them.
Yes.
But
which everyone should do, obviously.
Exactly. But they just lose that same treatment to themselves. So one thing that's helped me in the past is, because I've been guilty of this heaps of times, is that I give advice. I see someone that needs some kind of help that I've overcome, and I give advice. If the person takes it, great. If they don't take it, that's fine. Okay. Now, on other situations, which I know better, when I look at myself, I don't take my own advice. So a little hack, what I use is that, okay, John, I put myself in the now. Okay, John, what advice would you give somebody in the same situation? Let's say your friend Ken was going through the same situation. Okay, what advice would you give him? And automatically, I could give advice just by framing it that way, which is the right advice for that person. And then all I do is that, okay, whatever you just said then, just take it for yourself. And I try to apply it.
That's right. We're also, because we're usually helping someone who might be a little bit more in the darkness than we are, we don't connect the dots. It's not always like for like.
No.
It's similar.
It is.
Like, you know, if you're somebody who was, it starts to get weird where if you're someone who's, let's say you got a missus, you got someone else who's got a missus. Your missus is treating you like shit. And you're telling this guy whose missus is also treating him like shit to get rid of his missus. That's fucked up.
It is.
That's why I can't see what the fuck day it is.
It is.
Like, you're not really seeing the whole mirror situation that's going on there.
Yeah, we're giving advice, we're not taking our own. That's it.
Correct.
And that happens way too often.
Of course, because that goes along with the ego doesn't want to be wrong. It's all part of that system.
Yeah.
It's all part of this. It's so hard to look at yourself. Nobody wants to sit and reflect about how fucked up their shit is.
Yeah, exactly. It's easier to see someone else's problems rather than your own.
Oh, it's always easier. The design is like that on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
The machine doesn't know that they're a machine.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Spot on. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So again, just use these little hacks. Use whatever you can. Just try be in the moment and see where these. If you're giving advice, it's great, and something that you've learned and you want to pass on, that's fantastic. But look in your life where you need improvement. Being kind to someone else and being kind to yourself is a big thing. Just saying to yourself, like, let's say, as I say, celebrate your wins. Let's say, for example, you finished university. Celebrate it. You know, these little wins have to be celebrated. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Say, well done. Look yourself in the mirror, and give yourself a high five. Or, you know, go to people in an extreme that look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you.
Yeah. That's a good
You
thing.
know? Yeah, these little things.
It's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Give a fuck about yourself.
Yeah, it's hard initially. It's weird. You start patting yourself on the back. You haven't done it.
Yeah, thinking like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah, remember I gave you that example. Like, we were talking about, you had some situation going on, and I said to yourself, if you had let's generalize here, okay? Let's say someone treats you like shit at work.
Yeah.
All right. I always tell people, cool, no problem. And you feel some kind of way, and it makes you feel like shit. All right. You sticking up for yourself is obviously you giving a fuck about yourself. That's a way. That's one way of doing it.
Of course.
And usually, if you're a person who fucking cops it from certain type of people or whatever, the universe is pushing that situation to happen so you can rise above and conquer that situation.
Yeah, learn the lesson.
That's right. And to look within yourself and say, it's not about avoiding the conflict. It's about like, I need to step up here for me.
Exactly.
Now, if you step outside and look at that same person, you know, these cunts fucking bullying, whatever bullshit, they're fucking telling you you're a fucking piece of shit, whatever. If you saw a nephew, a son, a child that was getting treated like that, how would you feel? Okay.
How would you react? Yeah.
You're not going to like it.
No.
Try to look at yourself as that little child, blah, 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 blah. Then you start to feel about yourself. You start to connect with yourself. Like, oh yeah, I wouldn't like if I saw that like that. The problem is, you don't always feel like sticking up for yourself because you've learned a certain way. You stay in that program for so long, you don't feel like sticking up for yourself. But you're not going to feel, when change comes, you're not going to get this knock on the door saying, mate, you got to change.
100%.
You definitely, most of the time, you're not going to feel like it. You're not going to get this feeling, well, fuck, man, I've got courage. This is the day. It never works like that.
Yeah.
It's always, I can't be fucked. It's always left field, and it's always, I have to do something about it, because your subconscious is listening to everything you say, and it knows when you stand up for yourself or not. Forget about the feeling. Do the thing you got to do. You know, if you're a little bit overweight, you need to fucking hook yourself up. You know, your family's maybe judging you, treating you like shit, and you're hating all that. Like a doormat, all right? And there's things that are getting you down, negative things. You got to attack them like as if it's a job. It's not you're not going to feel this courage of emotion. Or,
No.
You're not going to feel motivated and inspired to be like, mate, I'm fucking today. I'm not taking shit anymore.
It doesn't work like that, exactly.
No. You have to systematically do the thing like an assassin, cold-hearted motherfucking killer. That's it.
That's it. Spot on.
Slack myself.